but because I was learning.
As usual, another failure. I told you, you are a nobody who won't go further than your own front door. Yet you think you'll reach the level of the elements.
It doesn't matter. What matters is that I learned a lot from my mistakes and realized what I was doing and where I was wasting my time. It was an experience worth having.
This is the nonsense of losers. Convince yourself with it. You are weak. You have no will or capability to reach anything. You are very stupid. You forget that you learned many things and now you have no information at all just because you are stupid.
Do you think you affect me? I overcame you a long time ago, and all that remains of you is your weak voice.
Let's see this new beginning you're planning. Good luck, but you won't last long. I guarantee you failure and falling again.
A long failure creates a beginning that doesn't break. Now shut up. Welcome to my little empire. This is the list of my achievements in 2025. After 1 year of commitment, I counted what I achieved and what I didn't in this list. It looks good, doesn't it? In reality, this is considered a failure for me, but a moderate failure. Why? Because I made 5 catastrophic mistakes that I only realized after the end of this year, and they led to vague results. These mistakes wasted all my effort and time on things that I hadn't invested them in the right place, and I wouldn't have ended up here in this place. And you, my friend, must not fall into the same mistakes that I did. Don't forget to subscribe and let's get started. Before we dive into the core of this topic, there is a small note must be mentioned. It is true that I failed, but these results are not bad. Among the millions of people who planned in 2025, many didn't achieve a single accomplishment. What's funny is that some of them said, my only achievement is that I stayed alive until the end of this year. I haven't arranged my tie correctly. Now it's look good. Very few people I found achieved some accomplishment and worked hard like I did. And all of them were simple things. A category of these people mention some matters and count them as achievements, such as, I went for Omar. I got a plane ticket to Europe. I had a hair transplant. I bought a car, house, an expensive watch. I got accepted into a job. With all due respect to these people, what I realized is that some people, or many of them, have very simple dreams compared to people with high ambitions. And this is not bad at all, to dream of a calm life while owning the basics of stability like all human beings. But what I mean is that we must differentiate between real achievement and illusory achievement before setting or counting yearly goals. Illusory achievement. These are direct or indirect things that happen in your life sooner or later, and they happen automatically. It is a mistake to count them as achievements because they are not real goals, and you didn't put a real effort into them. They happen without your conscious intention. Real achievements. These are goals we set in advance and require commitment, effort, and conscious pursuit to achieve. And they are not easy to reach, like this image. The achievements marked with X are the things I put the most effort into and reached a very good level in. But I failed at the end because of the 5 mistakes I will mention here in this video. From the first day of 2025, my plan was simple, as shown on the screen. I started with these 5 tasks that takes no more than 1 hour to 1 hour and a half. My idea was to start with easy and simple tasks gradually and to train myself with commitment. And actually I did. I actually committed to them until the third month and they were giving good results. In the third month specifically, I decided in advance to create a new plan for the month of Ramadan. I replaced my main tasks with religious tasks such as learning and memorizing Quran and others. But the disaster here is that I didn't learn anything at all, and these tasks wasn't suitable for me. After wasting a full month, I returned to my old tasks. I used to set complete and diverse curricula of books and courses. Every time I finished one, I added new tasks while keeping the basics, until the matter turned from 5 tasks per day until 8 to 12 tasks per day. The problem I didn't notice was that there was a red flag I was ignoring since I started with 5 tasks. The indicator was telling me there is no real change so far and everything I was doing isn't showing results. But I told myself not to judge until the end of this year. So the lesson I learned is set a fixed and well-studied plan. Avoid excessive tasks and constantly changing plans. If you don't see your results from your plan, ask yourself, am I applying my plan correctly? Is my plan directed toward my goals? Most of the time, the problem is not the plan itself, but the way you apply it. During that, you may go through periods of frustration, helplessness, or loss of passion. You must take your mental state into consideration. And this leads to the second mistake. After I stopped a full month because of final exams, I experienced an emotional shock from a person that destroyed my mental state and temporarily changed me. Before that, I had already started a new plan and curriculum. I felt extreme frustration and lost my motivation to achieve. And all that occupied my mind all day was that person. Despite that, I committed to my tasks and pressured myself. I was burning from the inside, hoping that achievements would compensate me in the end. The problem during this difficult period was that I needed someone to compensate me for this separation, someone to save me from what I was going through. My main concern and goal became finding this person, but this was impossible for me and requiring long patience. I was burning inside, living in internal conflict. I do not forget my mind that never stopped thinking about this topic and deprived me from sleep for 3 months. Love is the beautiful thing, and the moments it carries makes you live the most beautiful moments of your life. You search for a shelter that warms you after your exhausting journey toward your goal. This beautiful drug leads you unconsciously to a dangerous swamp of shock, frustration, overthinking, and self-blame. We do not love the person we meet. We love the feelings that this love gives us. I didn't overcome or realize this except after moving toward and learning from this experience. The lesson I learned: never enter a romantic relationship when you are not ready. All it begins is beautiful and its ending is tragic. There is a popular quote that says, if you chase a fly, it will run away from you. If you chase a butterfly, it will run away from you. But if you build a beautiful garden, the butterflies will come to you. After partially overcoming the previous problem, it returned to the second problem: compassion. I discovered that the someone who left me did so for someone my age, who had achieved everything anyone could dream of while he is still at the beginning of his life. This affected me greatly. I lost motivation, felt undeserved like a failure, and lived long internal struggle. He took from me a very special person, someone very difficult to find again. One day, when I was busy reading, I realized something extremely valuable. This realization made me stare at myself for an entire hour. I realized that I never valued myself, and that I saw myself as less than other person I loved, even inferior to him. I asked myself, in what way is he better than me? In education, I'm better than him. In ambition, he has no ambition at all. In knowledge, experience, and trails, he is zero. I was doing everything to please him and prove myself to him. All my time was for him, and this made him not value my presence or even reply to my messages. I learned a lesson that permanently changed my thinking. The lesson I learned: know your value, appreciate it, and do not humiliate yourself for someone who doesn't value your presence. And do not compare yourself to anyone except yourself. You are a person with your own ID. Everyone has their lives, capabilities, and circumstances. The illusion of perfection. This is the most dangerous state any person can go through. It is when you exaggerate your ambitions and goals and chase something that doesn't exist. This state is especially experienced by teenagers, who love to try and learn more than one thing at the same time. This mistake is the main reason of my failure this year. Do you remember the task list? If you notice, I didn't limit the task to one specific field, but to multiple completely different fields, similar to school curricula: psychology, writing, sports, language, books, self-development, and others. I was focusing on more than one field in the same day and trying to master all of them perfectly, learning continuously and forever, and turning myself into the best possible version. The result: cognitive accumulation and repeated forgetting. Calm down, calm down. The bigger problem was that I was overthinking my future. I believed that I had to learn everything to solve any problem that might face me in the future. This is impossible and causes exhaustion and mental burnout. Imagine you setting a schedule to learn all of this in one day while you have responsibilities and other work. How would your day look? You are not a robot. Your mind is not designed to master everything. A person who cares in everything becomes superficial in everything, but the person who masters one field becomes a reference in everything. After realizing this, too late, my mind stopped overthinking. I decided to focus on only 4 things. I convinced myself that I don't need to learn everything, and that I should learn only what is necessary. And this is my current plan in 2026. The lesson I learned: focus only on the fields that serve your goal. Do not waste your time on a field that doesn't serve it. For example, learning psychology while your ambition is to become a computer programmer. I explained the illusion of perfection in a previous video. I recommend watching it after this video. Now we have reached the biggest mistake I made in the end of the year. This mistake is the reason for the failure of everything. I'm talking about procrastination, but not procrastination we know, which is postponing tasks to tomorrow. I mean postponing what you want to do under the excuse that you are doing useful things. It is called productive procrastination. It's a behavior where a person delays real work, real goal, real experience under the excuse of learning or studying. For example, you're dreaming of becoming an expert programmer to get good job or start your own business. You start learning programming basics, and after finishing your course, you tell yourself, to reach an advanced level, I must learn all programming languages, all of them, and I will not start work until I learn everything related to computers to be ready. This is the biggest mistake I made, and I strongly warn you against it. Here you delay your goal under the excuse of mastery, which is impossible without experience and mistakes. Passive learning creates cognitive accumulation that is forgotten over time. You will not feel that you learned anything because you focused on theoretical part while ignoring the practical part. Personally, I wanted to learn all novel writing techniques before even started to write the first chapter. The correct way to avoid this is to learn programming basics, for example, then immediately apply what you learned on the computer. If you face a problem, search for the solution and apply it immediately. This is how experience is created, not the opposite. This is called active learning. The lesson I learned: learn what you need and apply it immediately in practice. If you face a problem, search or learn the solution and apply it directly, away from the condition of mystery. And I don't exclude the skills here. Alongside your main field, you may face a problem that requires certain skill to solve it. Learn the basics of that skill, then use it to solve your problem, away from the mastery requirement. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed and benefited from this episode. I look forward to see you again in another video with a new and interesting topic. Peace to those who came and farewell to those who left.